baby.
Okay.
Made it to day 9, bro. That's really
Ah,
good.
yep, no problem. Just
No
no problem.
doubt.
I just want to say I was on the call late yesterday, and I was listening to the replay, and I didn't know that Sky was experiencing, what she was going through. How you doing, Sky? I don't know if she can hear me. I was so sorry to hear that she was experiencing the body rash and all the other things.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, man. And actually, Sky, she just said she'll be on and off today because she has to go someplace. So she'll probably
Gotcha.
be back. Yeah, she's just in sort of transition right now. But I
Yeah.
want to ask you something, man. When was the last time you did that you performed an extended fast? It could have been 10 days or 2 weeks. Has it been a minute or
Um,
recently or
yeah, yeah, it's been, well, I did a couple of 3-day water fasts, like maybe late last year.
okay,
And then
okay.
and then like maybe 3 years ago, I was part of a group. That's when I took my herbal courses, and we had to do a 30-day herbal tea fast. So
Wow. Water
yeah,
and herbal tea for 30 days?
yeah, but it
Wow.
wasn't just that. It was,
Okay.
we could eat food though. We could have salad and fruit and vegetables. We were juicing also. It was okay, to juice.
Okay. Okay.
Couldn't have
Okay.
meat. Couldn't have anything like that. Couldn't have meat
Okay.
products or anything, processed food. We had to eliminate that. But yeah, we were
No
able to
doubt.
eat salads. We could eat raw carrots, celery, and fruit, any kind of fruit and vegetable that we wanted. So in
Okay.
my
Okay.
mind, that was easy.
Yeah. It was a cleanse. That's a cleanse. That's not a fast. That's a cleanse.
A
A
cleanse.
little,
I'm
yeah,
sorry. Yeah,
a little
that's
cleanse.
exactly.
Yeah.
It was a detox cleanse, is what it was. Yeah.
No
So in my
doubt. No
mind, it
doubt.
all was the same thing, until I met you.
Ah, man. No doubt. No doubt. Man,
Right.
that's real, man. That's real. How you feeling? How you feeling? Feeling good?
I feel
Good feeling.
excellent. I mean,
Yeah.
yesterday
I,
I
uh,
woke up, man, I had so much energy yesterday. I went out with a
yeah.
friend, and,
Yes,
and
sir.
me and her were running around. My neighbors don't recognize me. I walk right by them, and they're not saying anything to me. And I'm like, hey, good morning. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't recognize you. What are you doing? Then I tell them about it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're like, water only? Like, is that healthy? And I have to school them on the whole thing. I give
Yeah.
them your Facebook page. I'm like, look,
No
just
doubt.
go
We
and
always
check
do
it out. Just check it out.
that.
Like, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying, this is what the body needs. The body is
Yes.
is asking you to do this. This is why you have aches, pains. The body's just saying, please, can you just try this for me? Do this for
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
And I could see them kind of getting it, but they
Yeah.
don't get it because their
Yeah.
whole culture is built around food,
Yeah.
and eating, and food is love to them, a full
Yeah.
plate. You don't finish your
Absolutely.
plate. So that's, and I could see that instinctively they know that I'm telling them the truth. They know,
Yeah.
but they just can't wrap their mind around it.
Man, you just hit it because almost every culture and almost everybody, our love language is food. Listen,
Yeah.
man, I'm from the south side of Chicago. My
Uh,
roots, man, my mom and dad were born and raised in the deep south of Mississippi, the
Woo!
countryest of the country. Trust
That
me.
is the country.
I grew up eating chitlins and spam and frost corn. Well, not even, we couldn't even afford frosted flakes. We had to eat the corn flakes, so you had to put your own sugar on it, right?
Right. I've been
You
there.
remember, and Tang and syrup
Yeah.
sandwiches and government cheese
Yeah.
sandwiches and pancakes with drinking the vitamin D whole milk. And man, listen, so I know that world so good. Cool. Here's the thing: most of my family still eats like that, still lives like that. When we get together for Thanksgiving, it's all about the chitlins, it's all about the turkey, the dressing, the stuffing, and all of that stuff. You'll never see a really big, delicious green salad or raw food unless I bring it, or you know,
Right.
or we're still eating the same thing. And then, but it seems like almost everybody in my family is either way overweight, got diabetes on about 10 different pharmaceutical poison maker drugs,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know, got, on some type of machine, can't use the bathroom regularly, or got cancer, heart disease. That's almost everybody, have
Yep.
root canal. And so we haven't, our love language, bro, is connected to food. And it's like, until we get out of that, it's like a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. And
Yes, it is.
it keeps you connected to in the world. And no matter how many times you do anything religious or go to church, read the Bible, it'll never work until you start, just like you just said, give your body a break and honor the temple of God.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
that's
sir.
when your life get break. And you're right. The body's like, come on, man, do it for me, just one time. Just do this once for me. You'll never have to go down this path again. Just do this one time for me.
Yep, it's so true. It's so true, and that's true. My mom is from South Carolina, and
Yes.
my dad
Wow.
is from the Virgin Islands. So, I
Wow.
mean, you
Wow.
can't tell nobody there about fasting and not eating. For they look at you like you from Mars. To
Yes.
them,
Exactly.
that's an alien concept.
Yes.
It's not that's not even possible. They think that I'm crazy.
I'm
But
sure.
that's why I said we're the example. Because
Yeah.
what's going to happen is we're going to walk around shining and glowing,
Yep.
and just, we're going to turn into Dorian Gray. We're not going to age while
That's real.
they're
That's real.
aging. And I hate to say it, but they're going to drop off, and we're going to experience more quality of life.
No doubt.
Eventually, somebody's going to say, "What is that thing you were telling me about? Maybe I ought to try that." And then, hey, let me show you what it is. I'll do it with you. Let's do it together. I'll hold your hand. And until then, because it is a choice, it's a choice.
You
It's
just
a
said
choice.
it. It it is a total choice, man. And you're right. The great thing about this and why they'll be attracted is because fasting creates so much abundance, man. Like you can't believe. I'm talking abundance in every aspect, spiritually, materially, for every aspect. You'll see, man, and you will see for yourself. And it's just going to be it's so glorious. Words can't describe the glory that's on its way, bruh.
I can
Being
feel
stripped
it.
of the old and getting renewed and getting a new body, getting a new everything, and having blessings literally chase you down. You know what I'm saying? Having those blessings come to you in every aspect, be it love, if attracting that dream woman or dream lover or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Finances coming, all that stuff is coming, and it's always attached on the other side of mourning, or another word of mourning is fasting. And the
Right.
price to open that vault is 21 days. And here's the thing, though. That's why all the great men and women have done this for those
Yeah.
reasons. So they wouldn't be dependent on the world system. You know what I'm saying? So we won't have to go out and work a 9 to 5 or do something that we're not designed to do to make money, to sell our
Right.
souls for money, either for a little money or for a lot of money. You know, to
Right.
become a sheeple. And that's what this does, man. This keeps you out of the world, but it keeps you in the world, but not of the world. And
Of
you'll
the
be
world.
still,
Right.
and you'll be totally connected to Source to be able to have all your needs met, where you don't have to go out and do anything that's totally against your higher calling. You know,
Right.
so and I applaud you, man, and you my guy. It's just we're beasts in this, man.
Yeah,
This is
man.
all right.
Without you, and I swear, without you, this is not possible for me because, like I said, I've tried it before, and it was hell. I mean, it was just like after the first day, I was dying. I was just struggling. I was, all the stuff that Kevin
Wow.
said he's going through, I was going
Yep.
through. I had no
Wow.
support. I was just, I made a promise to myself and I fasted. And the minute that clock struck 12, by the time the clock struck 11:15, I
Yeah.
was in the kitchen grilling, because I knew at 12 o'clock I was going to be stuffed in my face. I had
Yes.
no
Yes.
type of discipline, nothing. I was just, I was shamelessly, um, stuffing my face with all kind of stuff in the kitchen, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know, I appreciate you, man. If I had never met you and Sky and you guys, I would not be doing this right now. Would have been, I may have been doing a juice fast because I knew I needed to do something to clean out. I was
Yeah.
due for, I would have been doing a detox. It's
No
exactly what I've
doubt.
been, a cleanse. I would have been doing a cleanse,
No
but
doubt.
never,
No
I
doubt.
never even considered 21 days. Never, not even
Wow.
close. So.
Wow. And it's you know what, Van, thank you so much for that, because that that is funny. Doing a fast is so much different from just doing a regular cleanse. Juicing is not fasting. Trust me, I've
Yeah,
done listen, I have Dan, listen, baby. I have done and I have led many juice fasts. They're great. I love juicing. I could juice all day. We've done it all. I've had green parties, green juices like you wouldn't believe. But fasting is different, baby. It goes to the deepest level, and if you want to create the breakthroughs that we really need and the impact that we want to have on ourselves and others, you got to do a fast. God's standard, and that's his standard and the universal length of it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's real talk. That's real talk. And very few. And here's the thing: very few people know or understand it, because if you don't know, you just don't know.
right.
And until you go deep enough, a lot of folks think that maybe 7 days is enough, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Some people say, well, 2 weeks is enough. It ain't enough. We don't say, I wish it was enough. Listen, I wish 3 days was enough. Then we can be done with it. You know what I'm saying? But the universal price is 21 days before the game starts. That's how long it takes to penetrate through all the layers through your body, so that God can throw something in there. That's a real blessing, not the little stuff. I mean, real stuff.
Right.
So this short-term denial, if you will, is nothing compared to the glory that's on the other side waiting for us. It's like a big fall. And as soon as we hit day 22, it like bursts open with all good things. And they follow you. They come to you.
I got you. I got you.
No doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
we got a lot of people on the call now. I see.
Yeah, because, hey, man, it was just me and you for the longest time, right?
But that's good. We got to catch up. We
We did, man. We did. You, my guy. Doc,
Yeah,
what's up, man? Dr. Marcus,
Yeah.
how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I weighed myself again this morning and I crossed the 10-pound mark, so I'm excited about that.
Oh man.
Oh, man. Congratulations, Doc. That's awesome. That's really good. That's really good. Hey, Greg, are you there?
I'm here, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you doing?
Yeah. Excellent, mate. I weighed myself yesterday. In fact, I've only dropped 2 kilograms. What's that? About 3 pounds. I don't know, in the last week. Not much at all. But
Okay.
I went to gym yesterday evening. If I hadn't, I wouldn't have had a good night's sleep. I got too much energy. I didn't have a serious hard workout. I just did some light stretching, some light weights, and went into the pool and just swam a bit. And but yeah, I felt really good after that. And my energy levels are still so high. It's unbelievable. This morning I had to get up for an 8 o'clock start at the office, and I was up at 5:30 this morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and ready to kick off the day. It was rock and roll for me. So I'm running on all cylinders and firing on all cylinders. I'm still just waiting to hit that wall, and I just don't know when that's going to happen. But I feel so much better this week now that I've got through the last week, and I'm at work now. I'm on my lunch break, so I only got a 30-minute lunch, so I'll be signing off at around 15 minutes. But on Wednesday I'm off, so I can join the full hour call. But I really need to plug into these calls because it gives me energy. But I'm not sure why I haven't. I'm not sure if it's water retention that I haven't lost the weight, but I didn't really have much weight to lose in the first place. I only had a little bit of fat cell around my belly line, and I'm pretty much in good shape. But there is a little bit of excess fat there. But I'm not doing this fast for the weight loss. I'm doing it for the spiritual growth. Well, to be fair, physically, spiritually, financially, I'm doing it for all those reasons. But yeah, I didn't have much weight to lose in the first place, but I really only have lost 2 kilograms when I checked yesterday.
That's cool.
Maybe that will drop. Maybe that will drop big time in the following week. I'm not sure.
Perhaps. And thanks for sharing that, Greg. But before we go on, is everybody muted in the back? It's like I'm hearing a side conversation. Do you guys hear that also? Like people talking in the background? Or is that just me? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think we're okay. They said it. Okay, they shut it. I don't hear it anymore, so I'm assuming that.
That might be me because I'm sitting in a breakout area, so I've got a couple of people in the not too far away. I'm sorry if they. Can you hear that now? Is there background noise?
No, I don't hear it now. But yeah, I think it was you, Greg. It was. Okay, no, it's no big deal. I just wanted to, so we could all hear each other good. And thanks for sharing that, Greg. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. No, you're welcome.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
No doubt. But yeah, if you can sort of either mute it or
yeah.
So,
thank you. My so finger's much. On the button. Yeah. No worries, man. You're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, guys. First of all, congratulations, team, for beasting it to day 9. Man, listen. Listen, we beasting it. We're on day 9, and this is usually where you hit a sweet spot. You know, where the fast starts to feel a little bit comfortable, and you just feel better. You just feel good. So I want to congratulate everybody, and just stay focused in that whole thing. We're heading, as we all know, it takes getting to day 11 before we reach our real disease, before things really start going deep and quick, really fast. So this is day 9, and we're doing fine. The great thing, and I always tell you guys this before, we sort of open it up to Q&A or we have our discussion. I just start, we just love on each other. I would like to take about 10 or 15 minutes just to share some motivation, inspiration, and some wisdom. Okay. Since we're on day 9, I usually like to take that day, and since we're on day 9, and just expound on that number for a minute. The number 9 is awesome, guys. The thing about the number 9, it represents finality and complete unconditional love. Divine is the number of universal love. That's why even when you look at things like in the scriptures, the fruits of there are how many fruits of the Spirit? There are 9 fruits of the Spirit: love, peace, joy, faithfulness, goodness, kindness, self-control, patience, and faithfulness, or whatever the 9th fruit of the Spirit is. And the number 9 is it's powerful. I always wondered why it took, why we always had 9 Supreme Court justices, or it took 9 months to have a baby. But I just sort of wanted to share that in. Also, since we're doing what the scholars, not the academics, I'm talking about the scholars, the people who really know. And the word scholar, it literally means to be a keen observer of something, to keenly observe. Okay, the word academics means trivia. It means trivial. Really, it's trivial. The scholars, what we're performing is what we call living temple work. This is living temple work 101. This is breaking down the old and rebuilding the new and the image of the original design. Okay, this is going right back to our original archetypical blueprint. Okay, and I tell people all the time that information, or what we know or don't know, is critical. Information is the commodity of kings. It's like, guys, listen, what we don't know is like our biggest kryptonite. It's our biggest kryptonite. So I want to exhort myself and everybody, that's on this call, is always be a seeker of real information, of the best information. Because if you don't, then you just don't know. And then when things come like consequences and things like that, and it's hard to recover from. It is hard to recover from. So that's it. Now, in regards to the temple work, I made a post about this the other day, that when you're building your body, when you're bringing offerings into your body, you're building your body with one of two things. You're either building your body with brick and straw, or you're building your house with living stone. Okay? There's no in between. Every time you bring a food or drink offering into the temple, okay, you're either building your house with brick and straw, or you're building your house with living stone. Now, this represents brick and straw. Okay, this list represents brick and straw. Processed food is brick and straw. Refined sugar is brick and straw. Starch is brick and straw. Yes, starch. Animal sacrifices is brick and straw. Commercial dairy is brick and straw. Cooked food is brick and straw. Okay? Now, I tell you that just so that you can have the information. And at least you'll know the truth. So even if you're still eating everything that I've deemed as brick and straw, that's okay. Just, you know what, you're going to know what to do to get to the living stone part, okay? So if you're still in the brick and straw scenario, you're not a dud, because now you know that, okay, I need to make some changes. There are over 1 trillion organisms on this planet Earth, and every organism on Earth eats 100% living food diet. There's no other organism, you know. So I just say that cooked food is unheard of on planet Earth. In nature, only one species tampers with their food, and that species is the sickest creature of all, humans. Okay, so that's just food for thought, and I tell you this is pure information, so just take it as is, just so that you'll know the truth. Okay, and that you can slowly make changes, because here's the thing with this process that we're on, the road that I've set you on. This is a baby step process. You don't want to go out too fast, because when you do that, you end up going back farther than what you started. Okay, so I'm just telling you the truth so that you can know and that you can slowly make those changes. I'm not saying go out and become raw overnight. It's a process. Maybe it's a goal that you want to get to over time. I'm not saying give up your steaks and hamburgers overnight, although it wouldn't be a bad idea. Just you want to make these adjustments, because if you don't do that, just know that you're building on brick and straw. And sooner or later, that house is going to fall, and it's going to be a great fall. It's going to fall, and you're going to have to suffer and recycle and dismember out of here. There's no other way around that. Now, I'm going to give you the ingredients to build your house with living stone, with the right type of material. The first and most precious type of material is what we call ether, or air, the spirit. Okay? Now, that's the first brick in the living stone, and even more so than that, what I mean by that, I mean activating the hydrogen. We've got to activate the hydrogen, but the only way you activate the hydrogen is that you got to purify deep enough so that your cells shift. There's a shift that takes place where your cells no longer take up predominantly oxygen, which means acid maker. It shifts and goes higher to where it's uptaking more hydrogen than it does with oxygen. Hydrogen, the water-making gas, is the key to not dismembering. You've heard it here first. Hydrogen, the water-making gas, is the key to not dismembering. If you look into the heavens, all of the heavens is pure hydrogen. The higher you go, you get this, all outer space is hydrogen. Okay? That's what it means to set your heart on things above and not on things of the earth. You got to go higher. You got to shift. We've got to activate the hydrogen, where everybody around us is uptaking oxygen, but we're uptaking hydrogen. And that's the first and most important piece to building your house with living stones. Okay? So listen, all you got to do is look around. You got everybody. The world is look around. I've watched more TV in the last 2 weeks. I've been sort of secluded in my little room, in my little hotel room. You should see the commercials that come on. They always have some celebrity who don't know nothing from nothing, advertising drugs, medication. You know, they take a celebrity to do this, or some who don't know anything, but people are sheeple, and we follow that. We think, oh, these people know them just because they're rich and famous, so they know. They don't know, most of them. They don't have this information. So if you don't see a drug commercial on TV, you're going to see an alcohol commercial on TV. If you don't see an alcohol commercial on TV, you're going to see a fast food commercial on TV. You're going to see some type of degenerated commercial on TV. That's what I've noticed in the last 2 weeks that I've been watching, to television. It's pure, it's like, I call it evil because it misleads so many people. And it keeps people as sheeple. And they use people like celebrities or famous people or politicians who don't know anything. They don't have the knowledge, or they'd be doing this. They'd be living this. They're clueless. They're in the matrix at the highest level. They're just puppets. And so they can mislead the masses because they have the money or the power or the fame. And that's very misleading. The deceitfulness of riches will throw you over a cliff. Money is good. You've got to procure it the right way and understand it for what it is, as energy. Okay, obviously in this world we need an abundance of finances to make things happen. I'm not saying don't go after, don't get the riches or the gold, because gold is for immortality. It literally means immortality. That's the element of the immortal. Okay, gold represents your body in its purest state. The scholars believe that your body was a construction of truth that needs to be purified. Gold represents your body. That's what it means to climb Jacob's ladder. On the other side of the rainbow bridge is a pot of gold, which represents your body in its purest state. Gold is divine. We're supposed to have the gold, not the hollow gold. I'm talking about solid gold. So remember that, guys. Dadgummit, remember that. You're supposed to have it, but there's a way to get it. You got to get it, not on the world scenario. Because if you do that, you'll be used as a puppet. You'll be used as a puppet. I turn on the TV and all the commercials. They have all these drug commercials: Claritin, Viagra, Robitussin, Alka-Seltzer, and it's all marketed by some celebrity who don't know anything. But guess what? They've got influence over the masses, and they're going to lead people over into the abyss. Don't let that be you. The second stone, if you want to build your body with living stone, we already know that we have to activate the hydrogen at some point. The only way you activate the hydrogen is doing what we're doing. We're doing living temple work with the fasting labors, and then when you finish, you can leaven over to the blood of juices or the blood of Jesus, and then eat living foods from there. But the second way is fire or sun. Fire meaning sun. That's the second stone. You have to get the sun. If you live in a cold climate, say like New York, like Van or Natasha live in New York or Chicago or wherever, if you live in a cold climate, if you can't get out in the sun, because I know those winters are brutal, you got to eat the sun. The only way you eat the sun is by eating and juicing plants. That's how you do it. In the wintertime, you just got to get that sun in you. And the best food to eat in the wintertime is oranges, citrus fruit. That's why God gave us oranges. They look like orange. They look like the sun. That's his way of giving us sunshine in the winter. Citrus fruit is the food of the winter. Juicing and eating the sun, you got to eat it. If you can't get out in the sun, you got to eat the light. You got to get the sun in. Now, the third ingredient for the living stone is earth. Earth meaning plants. You got to eat plants, man. Living plants. You can't cook the plants. Well, Mom used to make collard greens when we were kids. She killed the greens, though. She put the greens in the pot, threw some ham hocks on it, and you guys put some hot sauce, and we ate it. That's what happened. You killed the greens. Tastes good. I love greens. Hey, I've eaten more than my share with cornbread. You got it. Uncooked greens, like eat plants, plant food, avocados, apples, all types of fruits and veggies. You got to get the plants. You know why? Why it's so important to get the plants? Because number one, all information comes from plants. You'll never get the good stuff unless you eat the plants. You got to eat the plants. Okay? Plants evolve into planets. Plants evolve into planets. The word planet means wandering rock. Okay? Plants evolve. And the information in this stuff can only be unlocked when it's ingested. Okay? There's information and life in plants. And you eat that plant. Eat the medicinal mushrooms, the shagam, the reishi, the shiitake, the maitake, and all the great mushrooms. There's information in those scenarios. Guys, you got to unlock this. This is real. And the fourth brick on that living stone is water. Okay? Water is the breast milk of Mother Nature. Right now, we're walking on 21 days on the breast milk of nature to be reborn of the waters. That's the only way a human being can be reborn, of water and spirit. The word spirit is spiral in the Greek, which means air. It's the only way. Water is the breast milk of Mother Nature. Water is the solvent of all life. I highly encourage you guys to always get a high quality of water, the living waters. And if you can get a wild spring and get that water within 10 feet of the source, that's a whole different dynamic, because the water is running. And with running water, like in a waterfall or a river, it purifies approximately every 10 feet. The water purifies. So even if it's like a muddy river, as long as it's running and you get that, it's going to self-purify. Okay, like when you go to like these big cities and you see Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and everything, the water purifies the city. Okay, those, so water sources are obviously, most of them now are contaminated. I've heard that Iceland has the healthiest water sources right now. You gotta go all the Iceland, really get some of the healthiest water. But if you go to www.findaspring.com, it'll show you, and you just punch in wherever your location is, punch in your location.